Hey guys, Island Turtle here. I also go by Lola Selena. Welcome to BOMISpirit. And also, happy Aloha Friday. We haven't done one of these, I think, in months, actually. And it just, this morning, especially still being in this new moon Scorpio energy, just feeling into it, it was like, oh, this feels very right today, which is some things that I've been observing in the collective that I've also been wanting to share and speak on. So yeah, it just feels like the right time. But let me come back up in the comments here. If you're catching this like well after it posts, things will be timestamped as well. Don't forget to like, hype, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. There's a website, there's Patreon. Y'all know how it goes. Anything you're curious about is linked below, okay? But let me catch up on the comments really quick before we get started. Let's see. Raining heavy in Dallas. Oh, Genevieve, thank you for the $2.99. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Thank you for the super chat. Ah! Sorry, hit the wrong button. I was trying to like it and everything's just so small on the phone. Let's see. Christian, hey, it's been a bit. Let's see. Hi, hey, Marcy. Just popping in to say hello. Love you and all you do. Hello, hi. Miss you. Haven't caught a live in years. In years? Oh, sis. Well, I'm glad you're here. Um, so for those who are new and who haven't been to one of these before, this Aloha Friday hangout, it's just casual. We're gonna take it slow. And it's had different formats over, I actually been doing it for years. I didn't even realize till I looked at some old videos a little while ago. We're just gonna go slow today. I think that's like patience and pacing feels like a theme the last couple days. I am going to talk a little bit about the new moon Scorpio energy and how it kind of pertains to this this theme that I've been noticing since yesterday in the collective of this awareness, this connection to what we deserve. And it's empowering, it's exciting, it's not super pretty for some people. And just so you know, everything that I'm speaking on today is just what I feel and perceive in the collective and in present energies and also astrology. And so take it as it resonates, right? If you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it, and that's cool. We may or may not pull cards. I have them here just in case, but we're just gonna go with the flow, and that's just how we roll over here. Midnight in India. Oh my goodness. Well, good evening. Then I guess in India. Wow, really? Midnight? Like, what time is it over here? Oh, yeah, yeah. God, time zones, man. Sometimes I forget. Um, let's see. Patience. I know, and that's the thing. The moon is in Sag, and we're going to talk about that too, especially as it pertains to the next couple days coming off of this or out of this, still working with this new moon Scorpio energy. So, actually, before I even get to like the metaphysics of all this, I just want to talk a little. Actually, let me do a timestamp. Hold on a second. That's why I have my pen here so I could do timestamps. To just start the chat. What we deserve, what you deserve. This is something that's been coming up in my awareness in the collective since yesterday. And we're gonna get into the metaphysics of how this may be coming up for you. And when I say the metaphysics, I mean like physiologically, emotionally, energetically, spiritually, astrologically. That's what I mean, the multi-level experience of how this may arise, okay? I just want to start by saying, if you're in this energy, this is confirmation and also a reminder that you deserve to feel good, okay? You deserve to have real, good quality food, clothes, ways of taking care of yourself. You deserve rest. You deserve ease. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be accepted. Another word I wanted to slip out there. You deserve to be respected. You also deserve to be loved, and not just by yourself. That's a biggie that everyone on this planet needs to, not need, I shouldn't say that, but that we all benefit from embodying, but even from other people. Like, we do deserve that. Like, we don't exist in a vacuum, nobody does. And yeah, that is like the core of what I've been feeling in the collective since yesterday. that this is something that's emerging for some people out of the new moon Scorpio, is this awareness of how much that has been lacking or almost not prioritized or not given permission for or not accepted, not experienced, right? Insert here whatever applies for you. Genevieve, thank you again for the $2.99. Thank you again for that. Now, it's like they want me to save the astrology for after talking about all of this. Now, for those who are feeling that, perceiving that, that's been a thing for you. Something I was picking up on yesterday is that some people may have sensations, and this doesn't have to just have been yesterday. This could be coming up for you, and maybe you've been in this, where you may have been feeling a big change within yourself of like where you feel your center, of this almost like calm, focused, motivated energy, and like kind of like confident, empowered energy, but calm, like very calm. And you may have been finding that that has actually been like driving like some small decisions that like are actually some changes, right? Like getting into that deserving energy of like, you know what? I deserve that. I'm going to buy that for myself. Or you know what? I deserve a nap. I'm going to take a nap. Or I deserve some extra whatevers. And you just like, you engage in that. You allow yourself to have that. I am getting like big changes in health for some people. And I think that is partly some of the Saggy energy. I feel like Saggies like do correlate with health a little bit from time to time. It also is definitely like North Node Pisces, South Node Virgo energy. But the way that you would feel in your body would be very different if this is like a first time experience for you of feeling this kind of like, well, empowered, really, like empowered and deserving of just like to feel good and be happy, right? And to be content. Some of you, it's the first time you've felt this in a long time. Some of you, that's years. Some of you, that's years. And some of you who are in that boat, that's actually going to be an indicator for you of where your relationship with what you feel you deserve, even with your own sense of empowerment, where that maybe had gone astray or had gone through a bit of a disempowerment phase or a disconnection or a suppression, oppression, these kinds of things, right? This is also coinciding with some, like, I want to say random intrusive thoughts is I think how some people are going to be perceiving it. Perceive it in whatever way, is valid for you. Nothing's wrong here, right? But yeah, some of you may be perceiving like old intrusive thoughts of like, oh, I don't need to be thinking about that. I'm just going to push that away. These intrusive thoughts are actually coinciding with this like reclaiming or anchoring in of this knowing of what you deserve, or this confidence, or this like empowered energy. I don't know why that word is like really hard for me to say today for whatever reason. It's coinciding because you are reclaiming that, or you're anchoring it into spaces within yourself that have been taken up by these other things that haven't allowed you to do that, right? So if you're thinking about certain people, or you're having like weird flashbacks, like, sometimes like you have like, you're just doing your life, you're doing your thing, and you have some like weird random embarrassing moment comes up, and you're like from, I don't know, 20 years ago, and you're like, why is that? Why? Whoa, like, no, I'm not thinking about that right now. Like, so you may be having moments like that. And again, it's just energy that's shifting and moving as you're like reclaiming, right? This empowerment, this deserving energy, this confident energy, this focused, centered in yourself energy. And I also want to say like, very like stable energy. Some of you may feel like you're actually getting more stable within yourself. Either that's like physically with like on the health front, or emotionally, right? Because it's just you're working on your emotional body here. So that you may also be experiencing that. And I want to say just like let that like bubble up and out. Some people may need to have a cry. Some people may need to just like go for a walk or do something that like brings them joy or whatever. I just want to say like, don't shove it down if it's like trying to come up. You know what I mean? If it's fleeting and you're like, oh, whoa, there it goes. Cool. But if it keeps happening and you're like, no, 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 just let it. Just let it. You're going to feel better for it. And if anything, I also feel like there's going to be some clarity that comes in with that. Because something else that's going on right now, I kept seeing the Two of Wands this morning in my mind's eye. I was like, interesting. So there may be a good amount of people right now that are in a Two of Wands moment where, you know, even if it's like minor, right? It doesn't have to be like a big, massive, like life crossroads moment. It could just be like, maybe I want to shift a little this way. Maybe I want to shift a little bit of that way. I was getting from spirit that there is this encouragement to like allow for this like reclaiming and anchoring to finish before making certain choices at this time, because there's almost like, because and I know this, I see the astrology behind it, and we're gonna get to that. Yeah, let that settle. Let that settle, because that may actually change like what you actually want to do as far as like making certain choices here, because a lot of this, while we're talking about empowerment and what we deserve and confidence, also ties into desire. Okay, also very much ties into just what you want. Okay, so let things settle, let things be very clear. Try not to be too impulsive. I want to say today and tomorrow specifically. Let this land, let this play out, let it show you some things, let it continue to shift you. Okay? I'm just double checking my notes here. Yeah, I feel like we can get into the astrology. Oh, Mercury retrograde. I also have been very, very in it. Like, I've been very much in a Scorpio cave. I can't lie. And so just like talking is like, I don't know, my body almost is like, do we remember how to speak? It's kind of how it feels right now. Like everything in my energy just wants to be like in a little Scorpio energy bubble under a rock somewhere. It's like what my energy wants right now. But I wanted to be here and I wanted to put this out here for you guys. So yeah, that's speaking on that, let's talk about the astrology and how that also pertains to what I just shared with you guys, okay? Oh, itchy nose. Astrology. All right, so we're coming off the New Moon Scorpio. We had the hangout for New Moon Scorpio. I don't remember how long it was. I remember thinking it was a little bit hard to like get through some of the energy just because of the way the energies were. But New Moon Scorpio, this new moon, I would say the themes were power, desire, and of course, because it's Scorpio, metamorphosis. And with this new moon, there's been this encouragement from the energy to like dig up diamonds. I was calling them nuggets, but like digging up like diamonds, little nuggets of pieces of self that relate to power, that relate to desire, and claiming that. Now, these nuggets, these diamonds relate to, I don't want to say this, have been buried, like very deeply buried, okay, within ourselves. And this is, again, very much a collective energy because we're talking about the new moon, right? And maybe you've been seeing that in a much more grand scale. But these little nuggets, these little diamonds of sources of power, empowerment, and sources of desire, even just clarity of our own desire, our primal needs, just what we want, right? Where some of these nuggets, some of these diamonds have been buried, forgotten, or because they, we're digging them up, they've either been suppressed. Words, my God. These things could have also come by way of you becoming oppressed in some way or disempowered in some way along your journey, okay? Some of you, it's just a self-exploration kind of a thing and you're like learning about yourself. But others of you, you're definitely reclaiming things from oppressive moments or experiences in your life or disempowering moments and experiences in your life. This new moon took us deeper, especially with Mercury going back into Scorpio in its retrograde phase. That also took us deeper. And as we reclaim these little diamonds, these little nuggets, we're seeing some things more clearly. And this was another thing that was coming up with this new moon, is like some of the clarity of like reclaiming these little nuggets of empowerment and desire for ourselves. Some of you, it's more like your wild side. I just wanted to emphasize that. But doing that, there's also this emphasis of like, put that in the driver's seat. Make it like a priority to honor these pieces of yourself. And in doing so, you may be opening doors, utilizing this clarity and these pieces of you that can create irrevocable change. Metamorphosis. Gotta love that Scorpio energy of it. I think I even titled it on Patreon, like, allow the truth to change everything. I think is like literally how I worded it. And that's very much part of the energy that we're still in. So we're in this, and now the moon is in Sagittarius. Now the moon is working with Mars, working with Juno, and is going to be working with Chiron by tomorrow. Okay, so we're still in this new moon energy in the ways I described, but now with the moon being in Sagittarius and working with Mars and Juno in Sagittarius, it definitely kicks up that whole theme of deserving and want and desire and the motivation to act, the motivation to go for these things. But to do that, we need to have awareness of that, which is part of the reclaiming, which is also part of the intrusive thoughts of old things. Just let it clear, let it land, let it do what it wants to do. Now, Juno being here is also interesting because it's also bringing up the themes of bonds and partnerships, connections, relationships, and especially in that realm of what is deserving and how you're honored in those bonds and relationships, how you're seen, how you're heard, how you're accepted. Especially being in Sagittarius, it's about your level of independence, right? And your ability to have your own freedom and your own autonomy to do what you want when you want to do it, right? And so don't be surprised if that's also coming up for you at this time. And you may be getting a little bit of a reality check of, by reflecting on your past, in your present or against your present, that you may come into some like wake up calls or just some like very powerful truths about how that has gone for you in your life and how it's going presently. Do people see you? Do they hear you? Do they respect you? Do they let you be you? Do they honor your sense of freedom and autonomy? Or do they not? Do they not want that for you? Right? So it's like there is a little bit of a reality check going on there, and also another opportunity to like reclaim that like empowerment and like what we deserve. The other thing I want to mention though, the moon is gearing up to go into a trine with Chiron. Oh my God, excuse me. Between like, so I'm in an environment right now that's like very dry. Very dry. My asthma has like not been happy. My allergies have not been happy. And there's been some throat chakra energy going on in the collective too. Not for everybody, for some people. My throat has like so been unhappy. Hold on. The moon is gearing up to go into a trine with Chiron after working with this Mars Juno energy and after working in this new moon energy. When the moon goes trine Chiron, that is an opportunity to solidify. Okay. That's an opportunity to solidify these truths, solidify these little nuggets that we're reclaiming of our empowerment, of our desire to do what we want when we want to do it, essentially, and our autonomy and knowing what we deserve and confidence, self-esteem, all of that stuff. And also understand too, when the moon goes into trine with Chiron, that can make things a little more emotional. You know who you are if that applies, okay, if that applies to you. I'm just pointing that out. What was the thing I wanted to mention here? Oh, there was something else and it slipped away. I hate when that happens. Another thing I'm going to mention. Mars and Juno and the moon right now are square the North Node in Pisces. And so I mentioned this on Patreon for the weekly, and I mentioned this also for the new moon in Scorpio because of this. The square energy has been there for Mars and Juno against the North Node, but now the moon is joining it. So while we're in this energy, this square is also saying like, yes, be aware of what you want. Be aware of what you deserve. Have the confidence to be focused on it and in a calm way and in a confident way. But also understand there's a timing to things. There's a pace to things. That is the square with the North Node in Pisces. If any of you pull cards for yourself or you watch a lot of readings, Temperance may be coming out a lot. It is also Sagittarius, but Temperance also comes out for patience. For patience and pace and the proper timing and order of things for the best balance and harmony in a situation. Okay? And with all of this like reflection of the past by way of intrusive thoughts, making us very clear on the present, making us clear on these themes of deserving, empowerment, desire, confidence, self-esteem, all of that, and claiming ourselves in these themes, it's also saying take your time with this in the way that I already described. Take your time. Let it land. I would even say be a little bit of a hermit, actually, if that calls to you. If you're already through this energy and you're like, I'm cool, I'm solidified, I'm centered, I'm good to go have your fun. Go live your life and go have your fun. Because this new moon is also asking us to like, not just claim these pieces, but be wild about it. Be wild with it, be bold with it, be unapologetic about it, be shameless about it, be fearless about it, be vocal, be loud, just be you and be out there with it, right? And be very like unashamed. But again, specifically, I want to say be wild and be free like this in a way that you were specifically oppressed not to be for you. I'm gonna say that again. Reclaiming these little nuggets of power and desire and all these things I'm talking about. Put that in the driver's seat. Be shameless about it. Be fearless about it. Have fun with it. Be you, specifically in the ways you were oppressed not to be. So if that was like, if for you that's more of like a aesthetic body image thing, wear whatever the hell you want and be bold about it, even if it makes other people uncomfortable. If it's about being heard, start a YouTube channel, put some strong opinions out there, make some phone calls, talk to some family members, tell them what you think. Be honest with them, right? And don't be scared or worried or play small when someone has a reaction to that, right? I'm trying to think of other examples here. Oh, interesting. I don't know why this is coming up. If this is like for you, it's more about like being a leader or being independent, doing things on your own or by yourself. Look up some fun stuff for the weekend, things you've always wanted to do, things that you were told you can't do alone, or things you were told that you just simply cannot do, and go do them. Like, let's say, oh God, I can't even think of an example. Let's say people told you can't sing. Go to karaoke this weekend. Let's say your family always told you camping is dangerous and you shouldn't do it. Go camping this weekend. It might be a little cold depending on where you are. Maybe, double check that. Trying to think of another example. I think you guys get it. I think that's like plenty at this point. Yeah. So you guys get what I'm saying. So if you're reclaiming your nuggets, reclaim them. If you're getting solidified and anchored in your solar plexus, you're getting solidified and anchored in this like deserving, empowered, knowing, confident energy. Get solidified in that. If you're beyond that, go have fun in the ways that you were never allowed to have fun. Go and be who you are in the way that you were never allowed to be, or people judged you for, or whatever. That's what's going on right now. And I think this is going to be just the bulk of the weekend energy. And then we go into next week. So have your fun with that. And for my patrons who are here, I will be doing the weekly, I haven't decided about today or tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow. It seems to be like keep landing on Saturday. Saturday or Sunday. I haven't decided. Most likely tomorrow. Personally, for me, I feel like I still need to be in Scorpio hermit mode. So even doing this is like a lot for me. And for those who are still waiting on sessions for me, I know I'm behind. I am so sorry. I will be prioritizing those today after this. Anything else here, Spirit? Anything else? I don't think so. Actually, okay, one last thing I do want to mention. For those who've been resonating with the solar plexus evolution, actually, you know what? Let's talk about this. Because this is massive in the collective and has been, and I have been talking about it here and there. I don't think I've been doing it justice, to be honest with you. Hold on. Or maybe I have, and I'm just like, I don't know, being a Capricorn about it. As I do sometimes. So, collectively, something that's been going on for a very long time, weeks, it actually feels like longer than it actually has been, to be honest, but definitely weeks, is this solar plexus calibration, evolution, alchemical shift that's been happening in the collective. Okay? This was seeded, energetically, this was seeded into the collective over summer solstice. And there's just something about the way that the astrology has shifted all the way up through fall that's been allowing this to finally take form. And it definitely was kicking up really intensely around 11/11. that whole portal, full moon Taurus. Well, actually, actually, that's interesting because Taurus to me does affect the solar plexus pretty strongly. It also affects the nervous system, like the senses and all of that too. So maybe that was part of it. But anyway, when I say this was seeded, the actual energy, the actual codes were brought into the collective and into the grid on summer solstice. And it's just been waiting and hanging around and hanging around and hanging around for the collective to be ready to really receive it. And which I do believe collectively did take place early November, late October. 11/11 again was a peak part of that, along with the solar flares. I think it really exacerbated it. And what people were going through late October, early November, I saw a lot of people, including myself, go through a lot of digestion issues, like stomach bugs and things of that nature. Changes in in what we were craving and how we were eating, being able to eat a lot, not being able to eat anything, nausea, changes in VMs and things like that, very human-like things. But all of that has been to get the solar plexus into this like evolved state, elevated state. And so there was this like cleaning out, this flushing out of the solar plexus collectively. This absolutely connects and pertains to the masculine energy in everyone and the collective. Okay. It definitely has been this like masculine rising kind of energy, is how I've been describing it in the collective. Now, when we go through that kind of archetypal shift in everyone and in the collective, there's no way it doesn't affect other archetypes like feminine, right? Like our inner feminine. So some of you may have also been this also may have been coinciding with the rising of feminine as well, or your awareness or desire or openness to receive, to have ease, to go within, to slow things down, right? Softness, things of that nature. But with this like rising in calibration of the solar plexus, there's also, thank you, they're reminding me, thank you, Spirit, they're reminding me. There has also been this, if I don't have other words for it other than like a collective soul retrieval. It's like, I don't have other words for it. And I know I spoke about it briefly in like the last week or two. I don't know, time is so weird. What I mean by that is we had a lot of ancestral energy on our butts like white on rice while all of this was going on, because collectively, this like collective soul retrieval, these deep cellular, it was like a cellular memory cleaning out, alchemy shift for this to take place. Okay. Connecting to cellular memory trauma, things that are passed down through the ancestral line that relate to feeling disempowered, that relate to being controlled, abused, things of that nature, where our power was taken away, our autonomy has been taken away throughout the course of time. But again, this is ancestral, this is cellular memory, right? This is also why it was so physical for a lot of people. Some people felt it more than others, okay? But the beautiful thing about it is it's also been, and I'm realizing this right now as I'm talking, being where we are right now in this present moment with this new moon Scorpio, the moon now in Sag, and all this Sag energy, all this stuff we're talking about, this is relating to that as well. We've had this like massive cleaning on a cellular level, right? Which has actually allowed for us to really claim that power back and really anchor it in. So think of it this way. We received the codes, we received the light over summer for this process. It didn't kick in until late October, early November for most of the collective, where this massive flushing and cleaning out took place in our bodies, in our vessels, in our cells, but specifically with the solar plexus. And as that took place, that has allowed for a lot of space to be made to really go in and reclaim our own personal little pieces, right? So think of it like collective ancestral flushing out. Now on the individuals, we can reclaim our own individual unique facets of our own power and our own passion and anchor it in and be like, okay, this is ours. It's ours. It's ours. We're in it. We're solid in ourselves. We know who we are. We know what we want. We know what we're deserving of. And we're not going to relinquish that. And it does feel like that. It feels very much like this cannot be taken away. Like this can't be undone. it just feels that solid. It feels that stable. And I don't want to repeat myself again, but I feel like I almost need to. So I'm going to try not to be too like blah, blah about it. Ancestral, collective, through time and space, cellular cleaning collectively, solar plexus cleaning, getting all of the threads out and the programs out that tell us that we don't have control, that tell us that we don't have power, that tell us that we're just at the mercy of the system is also such a big thing there. All that shit. And now we have the space to really dig deeper and reclaim our own personal, individual, unique facets of our own power and our own drive and our own knowing and our own confidence. And it feels really good. It feels really good. And I'm very curious how this is going to play out even up through the winter solstice. Oh shit, I'm just, okay. So many things are like click, 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 click. So some of y'all may not remember, especially if you're new, you definitely don't know, but I want to say like in September, or even August, which is like not long after the summer solstice, right? I started picking up on October, November, and December. And I was like, oh, October kind of feels like a hello. Like something felt new in October, or like, yeah, like new or foreign in October, and November felt like a deepening. It felt like a deepening. It felt like there was more pleasure going on in there and getting to know whatever that hello was. And December felt like a full-on, we're locked into place officially, a full-on grounding and anchoring. And I was feeling that with the winter solstice specifically. So I feel like I click, 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 click. No, just clicked into place. So I think that's what I was picking up on. Just this like, what the new and foreign was really just getting into this like way deeper, closer to the core essence of our solar plexus, our source of power, our source of knowing, source itself, confidence, all of that, away from these really, really old, ancient programs that have been in place for centuries, really, that have been in place for centuries. This also is definitely coinciding with the removal, massive death of some of these old distorted masculine programs, so that the more exalted divine masculine programs can really come online, but be anchored in a deeper way, a new layer of it. We go through windows of this. I also want to reiterate this. We go through windows of this year after year after year after year, okay? And so for some people, they may feel like, oh, this has already happened. It's just another wave. It's just another window. Everything on this planet is cyclical, right? It's just about how the collective chooses to honor that, or chooses to embody it, or be aware of it, or completely ignore it, or like avoid it in some way. Because I definitely know there are some people who have not been feeling this, perceiving this, who have been kind of just staying stuck, if you will, because to go through these kinds of integrations, these kinds of shifts, you do have to be open to it, to actually have that awareness of it and embody it fully. Yeah. There, okay. I'm glad we spoke on that. 222 and 111. 222 people and 111 likes. By the way, please like the video if you're in here. It really does help the video to like circulate and get to the right people. Same shit, different toilet, right? Oh my God. Starting to feel a lot lighter energetically. Good, 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 good. Yeah, my personal reading, you focused on October, November, December, and you said you didn't know why. Oh, well, there you go. I remember that. Your readings in August, September kept referencing November and December. Yeah. Yeah. Just feeling into like if cards are even necessary. I feel like they're really not. I feel like we're very clear on what's going on right now. Where are we at? 34 minutes? Let me sit with that for a second. I'm gonna do a read. I won't lie though, it may be repetitive with everything I already mentioned to you guys. It just kind of always ends up being that way, but let's do it. Why not? We're here. Might as well. This has been a wild ride so far and wouldn't have it any other way. Sacred Bond read. Okay, so I love you, Zoe. That's been on my mind. I've definitely been getting that nudge that it's time to do more sacred bond readings. Um, so, okay, another little thing before we continue. So I also mentioned this around September, definitely in October. Maybe it was only October. I don't remember now. September, October time. I mentioned the importance of sacred bonds for the rest of the year. In October and November, I still can't believe how far we're into November already. Just to, like, it's so surreal to me. But even December and winter solstice, I'm telling you, this winter solstice it's gonna hit a little different. I feel like all the solstices and equinoxes are important anyway, but this particular one, I've been feeling it for months, and every time I feel it, I feel that anchoring. I feel a massive milestone shift with people who are in sacred bonds. If you've been in a sacred bond, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I feel like this needs to be a whole thing in and of itself. Hold on a second. Sacred bonds. Okay. Yeah, I guess we have to talk about a lot today. When I say sacred bond, I'm speaking to a connection, a bond, a relationship that's not necessarily romantic. I can't stress that enough. It's a heart to heart, soul to soul. Oh shit, I've met this person for a really important reason, even if you don't know why. They tend to be very spiritual. They tend to have this, we're on the same page and we are in this together and we have some sort of shared goal or understanding in mind. Some of you that's business, some of you that's friends, some of you it's a family member. Some of you can be like a short-term temporary teacher, right? Some of you it can be romantic. But it's this like undeniable feeling and knowing that like this is happening for a reason and it's important to like recognize that and then be on the same page with each other. Sacred bonds, because we are humans, when it comes to free will, there are plenty of people who are in sacred bonds where they opt out. They opt out, or you kind of go through an ebb and flow, like a flux, just like any relationship. Every relationship, no matter who anyone is to you, always goes through a flux, right? I know some people don't want to hear that, but it's just the nature of being a human, right? It's just the nature of being a human relating to another human being, right? But these fluxes, just like humans, can vary, right? It's like, I don't even like the word separation, but it's like, everything needs to breathe. So it's like I do find with sacred bonds that is a thing where it's like there's almost more, I want to say this. There's an awareness of that cycle of letting it breathe, right? Of an ebb and a flow. I also find with sacred bonds, there tends to be, especially with this particular window that we're in, from October to November to December, that Scorpio and Sagittarius do play a big role in these sacred bonds because of what Juno has been doing. Also what Venus will be doing and already has been doing. There's other reasons that play there too, but mostly this is focusing around Juno, okay? Sorry, I got neighbors and the walls are thin. I forget sometimes, and then I'm like, oh shit, that was loud. What was I saying? Growth. Thank you. That's what it is. That with these particular sacred bonds, at least the phase of it that we're in right now is massive growth, and massive metamorphosis. And there is a strong intuitive factor with most people in these sacred bonds. Not everybody, but especially if you're here, there probably is a major intuitive or telepathic understanding with whoever you have this like sacred bond with. But that is amplified at this time. Um, oh, thank you, Rusty. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm in love with it. It was my birthday gift to myself. My birthday was really crazy this year. It was a really upsetting birthday actually. And I'd always wanted one and it just felt like time and it aligned perfectly like so easily, which also just confirmed for me that like, oh, it's definitely a go. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. And it's very happy. Like of all the piercings I've ever had, it's like it's healing beautifully. Um but yeah, sacred bonds. I will probably be getting into some sacred bond readings in the next week or so. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And of course, patrons, you already know, you guys get early access to that stuff and ad-free versions of that stuff. But I do want to do a reading for present moment. Now that we're talking about sacred bonds, it wouldn't shock me if sacred bonds come up here. But let's get into a reading. Okay, the archetype deck really wants to come out, which is interesting. So just treat this as a present little check-in reading here. It may not be for everybody. We'll see what comes up. You can even treat it as a weekend reading. Yeah, I do miss Aloha Fridays. I'm really glad we're doing this right now. I know I've been like really MIA for months, and I almost thought about doing a video to kind of talk about what I've been going through this last year that has also like caused me to like pull back a lot from YouTube, but I know it's not necessary, but I may do that. It's so cute. I miss seeing you. Oh, CJ. I had other things going on and missed a few lives, but it's great that I caught you today. Oh, girl, it's cool. Believe me, I get it. It's Mercury retrograde. It's okay. You're totally cool, but it's good to see you. All right. Messages or insights for the collective in this present moment for the collective's highest good. Dolphins are coming up. Dolphins are coming up. I would say even just like the entire whale family, right? Cetaceans may be very significant for you. Sirius, the star system, may be significant for you as well. But coming here is my oxygen. It's honestly really refreshing to see you because I have been aware. I'm like, I feel like I haven't seen CJ's thumbnail face in a while. I am happy you're here. All right. Any messages or insights? Ooh. All right. We got the fault line. Oh, this is just, okay. It's kind of giving me what I was already speaking about before, right? Where these like nuggets and these diamonds of power and passion, right? Coming up to the surface for us to claim them, and we can embody them and be even more solid and anchored and centered in our exalted divine masculine energy, in who we really are, in our confidence, in our value, and in our knowing, and be unshakable in response to some of these really old programs and illusions and things of that nature. What is coming up from the depths is coming up from the depths, right? It's also giving me this vibe of like needing to break a wall or a threshold for that to actually emerge. So some of you, thank you. By the way, I feel like I got a lot of new people. Every time I say that, it's my team talking to me, and I just like to thank them for giving me information. Anyway, I do feel this wall energy that needs to be like busted through for this to take place. A lot of you, this has already happened, okay? I want to make that clear. And if you haven't experienced anything that I'm talking about yet, this could be coming. This breaking the wall energy, for some, it's a veil of illusion, right? Especially in terms of your own programming of self and what these experiences, what these people, situations have made you think about yourself. And again, the intrusive thoughts that may be arising at this time are key indicators in telling you when in your own timeline this took place, when that wall was first built, when that veil of illusion was first built. And some of you, it's like, it's a little bit more of like needing to break down your armor, or even like your own like guarding coping mechanisms. I'm getting that too, to be more vulnerable and to get deeper within yourself to allow this to come to the surface. Fault line can also be a bit of a tower energy. So I will say with this new moon, we had this strong opposition to Uranus in the kite pattern. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. The Uranus component, I didn't even emphasize it that much with this new moon hangout because, I mean, we did kind of talk about it. We've kind of been collectively in a prolonged tower energy anyway. And with Uranus working all this like Scorpio energy, it's a very internal shift. I wasn't feeling a whole lot of like external physical unexpected towers. It was feeling like internal towers, internal openings, internal shiftings, and not super shocking, like very much expected almost, you know? But that's that kind of energy too, if that's taking place for you. If anything, I would say if you are experiencing external towers of any kind, it's just to reclaim these nuggets. Really, it's just to reclaim these nuggets. It's just to make certain things clear to you. Let's keep going. Anything else for the collective at this time? For the collective's highest good. Let's see here. Ooh, God, just uber Scorpio energy. We basically have a tower card, and then we basically have a death card. Not shocking, right? Thanatos. Thanatos is the energy of like literally the death card, right? It also gives me that like more of the how do I want to say, the magic of the death energy, which is also creation itself. It's alchemy itself. It's why everything moves and functions in the way that it does. There's always an ebb and a flow. There's always an endings and beginnings, and it's always simultaneous, even if we don't experience it that way. Even if our egos, our human brains don't experience it that way. But Thanatos being here, I mean, I'm getting the word disrupted. That's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Some of you may have been accepting surrender is what I'm getting. Like accepting that maybe something has run its course, or that you are done with something, you're done engaging in something. Could be something small, could literally be like a lifestyle choice. Like maybe you decided, okay, no more caffeine, or no more drinking, whatever. It could even be that. Some of you, it could be like even bigger, like a relationship or a job, but I'm getting like, I'm not participating in the web anymore. That's kind of what's coming through. But the fault line almost feels like it's disrupting that for some reason. Like you're almost pulled back to the web. And like, this doesn't feel like you're getting pulled back to get stuck. And I am getting that a little bit. Like whatever you've decided that you're not participating anymore, you're not engaging with anymore, feels very healthy. It feels very good. It feels very like empowered, like an empowered decision. And I think you were deciding not to because it made you feel kind of stuck, or it made you feel kind of gross. Something's pulling your attention to it. I'm gonna say it that way. Something's pulling your attention to the web you got out of, or the web you decided to get out of. Tell me about this Thanatos energy. Tell me more about fault line and Thanatos. It's not to get stuck again. I want to make that very clear. It's not to get stuck again. Ooh, the ring. Yeah, that definitely speaks of cycles here. So a lot of emphasis on cycles and patterns. A lot of emphasis on that. Yeah, I feel like whenever you decided to not engage in something, or however you decided to not engage in something, your attention is getting pulled back to it. So it's kind of what I was getting at before, where it's like you may have intrusive thoughts about old things, or things that you were like decided were not for you, or that you were feeling not great about, what have you, and it's like coming back. The ring, it's to reclaim. So again, it's really emphasizing the energy I was already getting here. For you guys, it is to reclaim and to be fully done with certain memories, experiences, habits, etc. Certain feelings. They're saying feelings. Ooh, with certain feelings. Yeah. Again, this all ties into what I've already been speaking about, but any sort of internal tower you're having, or external tower, again, it feels more like a Knight of Swords. Intrusive thoughts is really what it feels like. It's just pulling your attention to the things that you left behind, the webs you got out of, to reclaim anything you left there. Reclaim the nuggets of power. Reclaim the nuggets of what you actually want. Fierceness. I'm hearing fierceness too. So maybe there's a warrior energy coming through here. So maybe this is like reclaiming your inner warrior. That's really interesting. You know, if that's for you. And to just like really, truly, finally be done. It's interesting too, because I feel like some of you haven't thought about some of these things in a while. And surprised even that you are. You just didn't know what you left behind. The past is very telling here for these next couple days. Yeah, history. The past and history is very telling in the next couple days. That feels like a bigger macro message for some reason. Makes me think about global things. One more for the collective, and then we'll get into some other cards here. They keep showing me dolphins. They keep showing me dolphins. Yeah. I like it. The vessel and animal. Animal is that like primal self. It is that passionate self. It's that instinctual self. And for a lot of people, the nuggets that are being reclaimed have to do with the animal. Animal can relate to confidence as well. Animal can also relate to that inner warrior energy for whoever is experiencing that. But it's like our inner animal protects us. It does. It protects us. It smells danger. It knows when we need to eat. It knows when we need to sleep. It looks out for us. I'm getting like strong wolf energy. Wolf has been collective too, for quite some time. And so maybe that's something that's coming up for you. Mm, yeah. Reclaiming some pieces of your inner animal in a way that actually makes you feel stronger. Ooh, I like it. In a way that makes you feel stronger, safer, more solid, more stable. Because when we are one with our inner animal, we're also one with nature. We're also one with just the natural existence of what it is to be on this planet, what it is to be in this body, in a way where we can really look out for ourselves and also look out for other people. It also helps to really get us in our body as well. I find that the inner animal really resides in the lower body, like the root, the sacral, right? Survival, creation of life, mana, the solar plexus, that kind of energy. Vessel, I think, is just really reiterating that like embodiment and anchoring in and reclaiming the inner animal here. And some of you, the inner animal has more to do with pleasure than survival. Oh, I'm getting a lot of different collectives all of a sudden. All right. So let's go one by one with the solar, the sacral, and the root. I feel like we talked a lot about the solar already. I think that's been there, done that. We don't need to talk about that anymore. The sacral. Some of you, where it's more about the sacral energy, I feel like it's actually more about the allowance of pleasure, the allowance of feeling good. Okay. That is also giving me very much like you have solidified your own masculine energy for your own feminine energy to take up more space and more bandwidth to enjoy, to be still, to have ease, to have softness. Like they're showing me like a wolf, like around a perimeter is what they're showing me with that. And that feels really good. Some of you, that's even the pleasure and the passion to create, if that's something that calls to you, but it's just the permission to enjoy life. Okay. Permission to enjoy yourself and your vessel and whatever you want to enjoy. The root chakra. For those where there's more of a root thing, it's absolutely about survival. Okay. It's about survival. Some of you may feel like you've gone through some sort of a nervous system reset as well. I'm getting that. The feet. This has come up a lot in the collective. Is everyone's like feet going through weird stuff? If this is relating to your root, you may have been having a lot of weird things with like, I am getting hips, which is more sacral to me, but that can relate to the root. But I am getting like joints and feet, just like not feeling right, not feeling grounded, centered, safe. And I'm also like getting like an anxious kind of an energy with that. You've been working through that or like owning this, claiming this is relating to memory. This feels like trauma to me, is relating to memories or experiences where there was some immense trauma where like the rug was pulled out from under you is almost how I want to say. Your sense of safety was ripped away from you very unexpectedly. Most of you, I think this is probably going to be from childhood, most likely. And I'm also getting, yeah, I mean, we don't need to dive deep into the details because you know how this pertains to you, but I am getting like trauma and abuse and things of that nature, like relationships and stuff like that. Yeah. All right, let's get into some other cards. Do glow in the dark tarot. You've been bringing up feet a lot. My feet are fine. Y'all okay out there? I know, I'm like, what is with the feet? What is with the feet? Oh. Actually, really quick about the feet. Actually, maybe I should do a little. Where's my pen? There it is. All right. I saw something, a couple things. All right. So you guys know the Fae deck, right? There's a card in here. They showed me the card. And so I'm like, oh, the feet. Hold on. It'll make sense. Let me just pull it out so I can show you guys. Faf the Footer, literally is his name. Faf the Footer. This is for those who are going through some weird feet shit, okay? Some weird foot stuff. There he is. This is what Spirit just showed me for those who are going through some weird foot stuff, and maybe this has been going on for a while. And also, I am not a doctor, okay? I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. If there's something wrong with your feet, please go see a doctor, okay? They have special doctors for that specific part of the body. But Faf the Footer, this is a card that comes out when we're being asked to ground, but very specifically in the book, it actually says when you're not paying attention to grounding yourself, centering yourself, creating that sense of safety and confidence, that this kind of Fae will actually show up and mess with your feet, is actually what it does say in the book. And if you don't know anything about this deck, by the way, this is a magical deck, very magical. I'm so in love with it. I've been in love with it ever since I started YouTube. And this is listed below if you want to check it out for yourself. The creator of this deck, Brian, can never say his last name. Shroud? It doesn't feel right. Anyway, the creator of this deck made this deck with his son. And every single fae was painted from what was seen. They're not just made up little images. Like, this was seen psychically and then painted. So every fae you see here, it was seen by somebody. Okay? And they've created relationships with all these different fae. It's a very powerful deck. Anyway, so Faf the Footer. This kind of fae will mess with your feet if you're not grounding and you're not centering and you're not doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and your sense of safety. And I think specifically it says like you'll get like blisters or like bubble, like, you know, warts or whatever. I don't know what you got going on for feet, but but if you have like things appearing on your feet, it's time to take care of your root. It's time to take care of your sense of safety and work on that. And also maybe like get a pedicure or like get some tea tree oil. You know, you can make it very like luxurious. Men and women alike, I feel like more men would really enjoy actually getting pedicures and having their feet taken care of, even if you're doing it for yourself. But like Epsom salt soaks, so Epsom salt soaks with essential oils, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. I think someone else mentioned vinegar. Vinegar is also really great. Giving yourself a little foot massage, taking time to actually like sit on the ground, hold your feet. When was the last time you held your feet, right? This is the kind of people I'm speaking to who are having like weird foot problems, all right? I'm also getting pain though, like pain and tingles. I am getting that too. So some of you may be like having things appear on your feet, probably your toes, most likely your toes, but I'm also getting pain, like weird tingles, maybe on the bottom of the foot and like weird pain. I don't know how else to describe it. See a doctor if you need to, but get yourself a little foot care routine. Touch your feet, especially if you haven't touched them ever or in years. Lotion, make it nice, love on them, get to know that part of your body. It will absolutely help you to get in your body and help you connect with your root chakra as well, okay? All right, I'm glad we did that little PSA on feet. Okay. All right, getting back to it. Where were we? Oh yeah, continuing the reading. I need Jesus for my feet. Oh. I mean, I think a lot, at least here in the States, I feel like most malls still have those like little like massage places. You can probably get a really cheap foot massage if need be. I think it's always good to touch your own feet though, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm energetically sensitive. I know a lot of you are too. I don't let just anyone touch my feet. Like, that's me. That's me. Anyway, let's continue with the collective reading here. Any messages or insights? I was blaming perimenopause. Oh. Even with that, there's things, you know, there's things that we can do to try to mitigate, you know? I got a foot massage once, absolutely understand being picky about that. Yeah, I don't know, like, feet are like, I don't know, feet, there are just parts of the body that like, I guess the whole body is precious. I was going to say there are certain parts that are just like extra precious, but no, the entire body is really precious. I just feel like feet, they do so much for you. They literally like help you walk, move about this planet. They hold you upright. They keep you balanced. They keep you on the earth. I just like, and they are conduits as well for you and the earth, right? Like as your root connects to the earth star. They're just special. And I'm just very aware that they are like little like inputs and outputs of energy, just like the hands, right? And I don't know. I just don't want anybody touching my feet. So I touch my own feet. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. I did a mass they had the other day. It was amazing. Feet are really intimate too. Yeah, they got a lot of like erogenous zones too. Just say, like, I don't know. They're special. Let's see. Your feet carry a lot of weight every day, all day. Be nice to them. From a Pisces foot loving. Yeah, yeah. Any other messages or insights for the collective, please? for the collective's highest good. Well, there's the fault line energy. Tower. What's coming with the tower here? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. See, like, very positive tower. This is a tower that is like pooping out of Ace of Pentacles. I really like it. The Ace of Pentacles is stability. It represents stability. It also represents like money, second chances, gifts, but it's absolutely this like very tangible new energy. It's not just like, oh, you're feeling good. It's not just the Ace of Wands of like, oh, you're feeling alive. No, it's like, it's very much in your physical reality. Something is changing in a way that does feel very new as a result of this tower. It's like, it just feels positive. Again, the tower to me feels internal, feels like that, like little nuggets and insights arising from the depths. And then you reclaim that in the reclamation of your inner animal, these nuggets, these diamonds of power, of desire, of deserving energy, confidence, whatever you want to say here. You're creating the Ace of Pentacles as you are embodying that. Something may feel really different, just even in your body, just in existence, you may feel very different. That could also represent the Ace of Pentacles. But this is a result of that reclamation. Okay. What's coming with the Ace of Pentacles here, or after the Ace of Pentacles? Just one more card. Ooh, nice. Oh man, I love it. The animal's out. Knight of Wands. Animals in the driver's seat. So again, it is kind of just redundant of what I already shared, but I know some of you guys really like the cards for confirmation. I get it, but it's everything I was already saying. This internal tower, this reclamation, creating a whole new experience with you and your own physical reality, a lot of you with your own vessel as well, how you're just operating in this world, and your inner animal is in the driver's seat in a way that you have not been allowed to exist, in a way you've not been allowed to express yourself. Awesome. And get further confirmation on that. Can I get a card on the tower? Page of Wands. Page of Wands is interesting here. Page of Wands is, all the pages to me can be like facets of the inner child, but Page of Wands is that part of us that wants to explore, wants to get on some new horizons, feeling a little fun, flirty, playful, sassy, excited and curious to experience, right? That's the Page of Wands energy. It feels like this is also part of those nuggets of reclaiming power and desire. It feels more like desire. Some of you, it's even reclaiming your own sense of curiosity, your own openness and receptivity to try new things, to be that curious child. Oh, now they're showing me two cards from another deck. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's over here. Okay. See if I can find them. So they're showing me cards from the Mystic Shaman Oracle when I said child. Like curious child. There's a card called the Child, and there's a card that has, where is it? Okay, there's the Child. It's always like right at the end, isn't it? Hold on. Yeah, okay. All right. They showed me two cards. These two. Magic and the Child. Technically in this card, that's a child too, but look how different they are. Look how different they are. The magic, this card, I'm trying to remember. If memory serves, this card speaks of like believing in magic, like that childlike curiosity and not losing that and operating from that space. This though, this is a little more shadowy. I'm trying to remember. Even just like the visual though is very shadowy. It's like, this is believing in magic. This feels like connecting to your actual inner child, which may have gone through some shit. Even if you compare the two, it kind of looks like you've seen some shit, right? And that's kind of what I'm getting here with the Tower and the Page of Wands, that there is this, like, with the nuggets that are arising and emerging, some of you, if it does relate to your inner child, it's almost like I'm seeing two versions here. Like the one that has been through some shit and the essence. Yeah, oh, that's interesting. The essence of your inner child that does believe in magic, that is curious, that is pure, just like divine energy. And then these aspects of your inner child that have, well, seen some shit, right? That may need a hug, that may need a talking to, that may need to be pulled in closer, that may, thank you, that may be bringing up some intrusive thoughts, right? That are showing you where in place and time these walls came up, these veils of illusion came up, these false beliefs and programming about who you are or who you can't be took place. Yeah, I think that's all that needs to be said. So coming back up. All right, let's look at the Ace of Pentacles. I'm starting to get the throat. I'm starting to get the throat now. And I did mention that for some of you, this period of time is more about like expression, or you're like being able to be heard, right? It's different for everybody. We went over all the things. Talk about the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's really nice. Wow. Wow. Ace of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So we reclaim these nuggets and these pieces, right? And as we're embodying that, as we're getting reacquainted with that, we're getting into king energy. Talk about a shift, man. From the page to the king, getting into the king energy, but not just any king. It's the King of Cups. It's the king that has the mastery of the emotional and spiritual body. More emotional, technically King of Wands is spirit because fire is spirit. But I do feel like with water, it's like, I still feel like it's a facet of spirit. Everything's a facet of spirit, technically speaking. I think you guys get I know what I'm getting at, because King of Cups is emotional, it's compassionate, there is this just like knowing, even if it's a spiritual knowing, an intuitive knowing, an inner knowing. But the King of Cups is so solid and anchored in what they feel, in what they see, and mature in it, and wizened in it, and strong in it. The King of Cups I equate to the Stingray card from the Kim Kranz Animal deck, which is about emotional and spiritual strength. That is the King of Cups. Amazing. So this is the anchoring. This is the anchoring. Just feels good. Let's look at the animal in the driver's seat. And you guys just being who you are in a way that you were not allowed to be before. Because of XYZ. Talking about the Knight of Wands. I just heard Big Papa. It's interesting. All of this energy is collective, and I'm reading this as if it's all within the individual. But some of you may have a Big Papa energy around you. It's giving me Papa Bear, which is actually kind of cute. Some of that's like a father, grandfather energy. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Some of you that's like an ancestral guide, actually, like Big Papa, Papa Bear. But it also brought up the song. Oh my God, I haven't heard that song in years. I think it's literally called Big Papa. But I think it came out in like the late 90s or something. Oh, who sings that? Someone help me. Someone help me. I know someone in here has got to know that song. Like, I love it when you call me Big Papa. No, nobody. Oh, who sings that? It is Biggie. Oh my God. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's coming through. Biggie Stacks. Oh my God. I was like, yeah, it's Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls and Notorious. Okay. That's funny. That song is coming up here. I'm liking that energy. I can't lie. I'm loving it. Some of you may be getting in those vibes. Some of you may have someone around you who's in those vibes. God, I want to play that song right now, but we can't. We're on YouTube. So go look it up if you don't know that song. So especially if you're like, who can't even keep track of the freaking generations anymore. Especially if you're Gen Z and you don't know that song, look up that song. It's a good song. Tell me about the Knight of Wands. Yeah, yeah. Put your hands up in the air if you're a true player. Yeah. Tell me about the Knight of Wands. We got 3 cards here. Ooh. Definitely going for what you want. I do see that. So letting your inner animal be in the driver's seat, we have, look at all this king energy. See all that solar plexus, empowered, masculine energy. It's all over the board. We have no queens, by the way. Not a single one. Clarifying the animal getting in the driver's seat. We have the 8 of Cups, which is letting go of the past, right? Heading towards the 10, letting the past be the past, cutting away from attachments and emotional ties or things been weighing on our hearts and our souls or even our minds. King of Swords and Judgment is interesting here because King of Swords and Judgment says that there's also a very clear, intentional decision to do this, to put your animal in the driver's seat and to move forward and move on. But I'm getting, there's something else there. I can feel it. There's something else behind Judgment. Tell me more about Judgment and the King of Swords. Lost track for a bit. Yeah, it's collective. It's collective right now. It's all going to be time-stamped after the fact, so don't worry. Tell me about King of Swords and Judgment. Why is King of Swords and Judgment here? You know, it's okay. I'm still going to pull a card. But given that we have the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Cups as almost like our anchoring of self, anchoring through all of this, right? And then we're like letting ourselves be a little bit more us and wild and free in a way that we haven't been allowed to be. I'm also getting this too, almost like a detaching from the King of Swords energy or aspect of self, like allowing yourself to lose control a little bit or not have so much control. Yeah, like not restraining ourselves as much. King of Swords is very intellectual. King of Swords is Aquarius. It's air on air energy. It's a lot of air. King of Swords is a strategist. He understands truth and strategy and how to move accordingly. He only speaks when he needs to speak for his own benefit, right? It's that kind of energy. I won't lie, the King of Swords is not exactly a fun king. Like the King of Swords is not about like letting loose. He's all about strategy, discernment, control. And I do feel that of like not letting that be, well, the driver. Allowing the King of Swords energy within all of ourselves to take a step back for a minute. And yeah, thank you, Spirit. They're showing me they're like all the other court cards and operate more from that fire water space versus the air space. From feeling, from instinct, from intuition, from heart energy, from soul energy, from mana, right? Can I get one more on King of Swords and Judgment? One more on King of Swords and Judgment. There's a lot coming through on this King of Swords energy. Oh, I just got hit with a wave of emotion. Clarifying the King of Swords and Judgment. 2 of Swords, King of Pentacles, and Queen of Cups. So some of us, having our inner animals take the driver's seat here, it is very intentional, but it's also coinciding with this moment with ourselves of getting very real with ourselves of, how do I want to say? Let me come back to this King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. This 2 of Swords with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, this feels like being a little stuck. Being a little stuck in terms of the Queen of Cups, what we feel we want, even intuitively what we know is actually best for us. And the King of Pentacles trying to maintain some sense of stability, trying to maintain some sense of consistency. And I want to say safety. I do. I want to say some sort of like material, physical safety and consistency and predictability. And it's almost like fighting ourselves a little bit because we're just trying to maintain so much. For those who deal with like the root chakra stuff, this may pertain to you more so. Okay. But that's where Judgment is coming in to be like, okay, you may want to maintain things a certain way, control things a certain way, consistency, predictability, all that fun adulting stuff. But a part of you, the Queen of Cups energy, is knowing otherwise. That like, yes, that's important, but we can't just like be in this controlled state with life or all the time. And it does, it feels like a stifled energy. And so the decision is made to bring back the fire, allowance for the fire, allowance for the inner animal, allowance for that instinctual, fun, playful, a little more loose, a little more curious, a little bit more unafraid and fearless kind of energy, and allowing that to be in the driver's seat for us. Because when we're in this kind of a controlled state, how do I want to say, we really restrict ourselves from spontaneity. We restrict ourselves from spirit coming in and like surprising us in all kinds of different ways. You know, we prevent ourselves from taking risks. And at what point does it become survival versus living? And even living, are you thriving? Or is it just so consistent? Is it just so much about, excuse me, I want to say being afraid of loss, actually. Interesting. Yeah. The only queen to show up was the Queen of Cups. The only queen. And it's the highly intuitive, emotional, compassionate, healing, motherly, soft queen. Very interesting. Well, I feel like that completes the reading. And I think that also completes Aloha Friday today. I'm very happy we got to do this today. I look forward to doing more of these again. And like I said, I may put a video out. I don't know. I know I don't need to, but I might. Just kind of sharing with you guys just what's been going on for this last year. And I mean, really, like the last 2-3 years, to be honest. I've been in quite a Plutonian phase of my life. And I mean, you guys have seen it has absolutely impacted me here on YouTube as well. Which it just is what it is. But I may do that, I may not. I know it's not necessary. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And don't forget to check out Patreon. And don't forget to have your notifications on and like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And take care. Bye.